Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a little bit of a controversial topic, a little controversy going on right now. Is it time to move on from Detroit Lions running back DeAndre Swift? And I know this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, and that's okay. We all love DeAndre Swift. 23 years old, 5'9", 210, 215 pounds. Put some muscle on this year to try to avoid some injuries. Our man's injured again. It's the same story for the past 3 years. I personally don't think he's going to see a second contract in Detroit. I know he has one more year left on his deal. Is this year and next. He has an out next year, a bit of an out, 2023. They can save roughly around 1.7 million plus in cap savings via a trade or a release. I don't want to just outright release him, but we need this topic needs to be discussed. It needs to progress, needs to go forward with this. Now, I know Dan Campbell, Deuce Staley, Brad Holmes, I'm sure they're not having this conversation right now. You know, they got bigger fish to fry. They got problems coming out there, wazoo, with injuries, with with Dan Campbell having brain farts, defense, just an absolute travesty. They got other problems, and I'm sure they're not talking about DeAndre Swift as of right now. Now, it looks like he's going to be shelved for the next at least game or two. The possible comeback, okay. Yeah, he's about to miss more time coming up. It looks like it anyways. It sounds like it. It hasn't been officially made, but he's probably not playing against the Seahawks. He probably will not play against the Patriots, and then we have a bye in week 6. Now, it seems like the Lions are probably going to do the right thing, shelve him for 2 games, and a possible return in Dallas for week 7, where a bunch of Detroit Lions are supposed to come back. Apparently, supposed to come back. Haven't really heard too much of what's going on with guys like Pascal. You know, we saw a little bit of video going on with Williams, but this isn't about those guys. This is about DeAndre Swift. And let's go over some DeAndre Swift's injury history. This is since his college days at Georgia, where he was a dynamo. And he's a dynamo in the NFL. He's a dynamo with the Detroit Lions. But let's go over some of his injuries. 2018 at Georgia, groin strain. 2019 college, Georgia again, a shoulder, his left shoulder. 2020 in the NFL now, he was a rook. Had a concussion. 2021 NFL, groin strain again. 2021 again, a shoulder AC joint sprain. 2022, this year, shoulder AC joint sprain again. No surgery. Apparently he's avoiding surgery right now for his latest injury that just happened against Minnesota, in Minnesota. And then 2022, he still has that ankle sprain, a pull. So let's tally it up. 2 groin injuries, 1 concussion. Yeah, 2020 he had a concussion. Yeah, I said that. And then 1 ankle injury. 3 shoulder injuries in a 5-year span. And this is a 5-year span of college, Georgia, and Detroit Lions. And these are injuries that are just reported. So there's probably other nicks and cuts, bruises, whatever you want to call them, little injuries here and there that a lot are not reported. And there's a ton of them not reported, if you didn't know. I know they kind of cut down on that now. They take it really serious, but there's injuries that are not reported. That's just the nature of the game, nature of the beast. It's just the way it happens. Okay? Let me get rid of this right here. I hate that stuff. Okay? So he's got, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 injuries that are reported in the last 5 years, college to the NFL. Now, this is a guy that was drafted in the 2nd round, and he's a dynamo, okay? He is. Now, his stats, 1,369 yards, 14 touchdowns, 4.7 yards per carry. so far in his NFL career. 2020, he got 886 yards receiving, 116 catches, 5 touchdowns too as well. So almost 20 touchdowns in 3 years. 2022, he's running wild, 8.6 yards per carry, but he's only averaging 9 carries a game. So this is a guy that's going to be coming up on a contract within the next year or two. They haven't really been talking about it just yet, about extending, and they shouldn't. I personally don't think he's going to see a second contract in Detroit. I don't know what kind of money he wants. When healthy, he's a top 10, borderline, I think top 5. He can be a top 5 talent in the league. He just misses too much time. He's missed 7 games in 2 years. Now add 2 more probably to this year, so about 9, 8 or 9 he's going to miss. And then after the bye week, how much more is he going to miss? At this point in his career, there's not many workhorse backs, like lone backs in the NFL. That's kind of fallen to the wayside. There's always a stable of running backs. You go look at the Kansas City Chiefs. You go look at the Buffalo Bills. You look at the Detroit Lions. We have a stable of running backs with DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, Craig Reynolds. They went and picked up Justin Jackson, Jamar Jefferson on the practice squad. You have to have a stable of running backs. And I think Brad Holmes knows that. And at this point in his career, what is DeAndre Swift going to be? Like, what's he going to be in the future? Now, the shelf life of a running back is 2.57 to 3.3 years. That's the shelf life. That's all done through math and all those, all the mathematicians, all the geeks, all the nerds getting all that, and they calculate it, and it's an average. Okay, it's an average. Is it a guarantee that a running back's only going to last up to 3.3 years? It's not. It's just done by mathematician averages. However they do it, they figure it out with injuries and how long guys play in the NFL, obviously, right? So they have their ways of figuring that stuff out. I am not a mathematician by any stretch, so how they figure that out, that's on them. But it's a legit, if you Google it, Google is your friend. Google's my friend. Go check it out, and you'll see where I'm coming from. A majority of the sites will say 2.57 to 3.3 years. That's the number you're getting. DeAndre Swift is on his 3rd year in the NFL, and he's already amounting all kinds of injuries, missing time, becoming pretty much a third down back. That's what he is. Like, we saw him against the Philadelphia Eagles where he had a bunch of carries, got hurt doing it, carrying. I think he had 15 carries. I should have wrote that down, but I think he had about 15 carries. And then after that, he's had like 5, 7. He's only got like 9 carries. I think he has not 27 carries on the year, and that averages out to 9 carries per game. So he's basically a part-time back. That's what he is. Like, I don't know what kind of money this kid's going to be looking for, but when he's healthy, he's dynamic. He's special. He just can't stay healthy. So what is this regime going to do? Like, are they going to move on from the kid? Are they going to move on from him? Don't be surprised if this kid gets somehow traded. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. It might happen next year. Now, I'm not saying Brad Holmes is going to draft a running back in the 1st or 2nd round. You can find running backs in later rounds. Go look around the NFL, you'll see that. There's a lot of good running backs that are drafted later on. There just is. And I don't know really how Brad Holmes values the running back position. I know the NFL in general, a lot of teams don't value it as high anymore. It's a little bit, I'm not going to say it's a dying breed because it's obviously not a dying breed, but it's a position that is not valued that high anymore because you can find value later on. Like you don't have to get one in the first, the second, third round. You can get some good ones in the fourth, fifth round, third, fourth, fifth round, whatever. You don't have to get one in the first or the second. So this conversation has to evolve. It has to be talked about. It's a real thing. This kid cannot stay healthy to save his life. And then if they shelve him for 2 games, sure, okay. The offense is going to change. Then this is off topic too. You got St. Brown possibly hurt. If he misses time, but we'll get into that another day. But without DeAndre Swift, this offense changes. And I really like Jamal Williams. He's not DeAndre Swift. He's not even close. And we all know it. He's a hammer. That's what Jamal Williams is. He's the hammer. He's the emotional guy. He's the guy that gets you fired up. But he's going to get you the tough yards. I like Jamal. I really do. I kind of hope they re-sign him, to tell you the truth. I really hope they do. Give him another 2-3 year deal. But who knows what he wants to do. It seems like he really likes this city. But I'm getting off topic again. Get back to DeAndre Swift. It has to be talked about. I know people are not going to like this video, some people. But I think it's time to move on. You either trade him. I don't want to release him. But you got to find someone. If things go off the rails this year, which they could, I think he needs to be traded if he's healthy at the time. I really, really do. And I know that's not going to be very popular. But I think it's time to move on. Now, next year, I think is the most ideal to do it. But if it goes off the rails this year and they're at the trade deadline, which I believe is, correct me if I'm wrong, week 6, week 8? Kind of forget. Don't really remember, but I think it's time to move on, especially if this team is going nowhere. Get some draft picks for him. I don't know what you're going to get for him, but if he's healthy at the time, you might be able to get a little something. You're not getting a first round pick for him. I don't think a team will, just because of his injury history. If he's going to talk about production and about, how good of a football player he is, then yeah, people would be like, well, yeah, he's a first round pick. But he's not, just because of his injury history. So you'd be lucky probably maybe to get a third, a fourth round pick. So you probably won't even get a second round pick for him. You'd be if you do, I jump at the chance. I would jump at it because you're not going to get a first round pick. And I want to make it crystal clear that I'm not saying he's garbage or he's anything like that. He is an excellent football player. But best ability is availability. We preach it over here big time. I live by that statement. Best ability is availability. And the kid's just not available. And then when he is available, he's on a pitch count. If that doesn't annoy the hell out of some Lions fans, I don't know what to say. I just wish the kid could stay healthy. And I'm not saying the kid needs to be healthy for 17 games and get 35 carries a game. But it'd be nice for him to get at least 15 touches. He doesn't even get that. He gets like 9 carries a game on average. Right now, it's early in the year. And then a few passes caught a game. He's barely hitting 12, 13. He needs to get more touches. And he's just not capable of doing it because of his health. You want him to get 15 to 20, at least touches. 20, I think, is probably the most for him. But he's turned into a third down back. That's what he's turned into. And it's a damn shame because he's such a great running back. He has so much potential. But that's it, guys. It's time to move on. What's Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Deuce Staley? This conversation is probably going to be done in the offseason, obviously. Or it could be done earlier. If this if this season goes off the rails, expect this kid gone. If he's healthy. If not, he's here for another year. And we'll pray to the moon that he stays healthy again for another year, which he won't. He just won't. It's what he is. This kid's trying to stay healthy, put muscle on his body, and it's just not happening, guys. It's not happening. He's missing time. He's on a pitch count constantly. For the past 3 years, it just that's what it seems. He's like turned into a third down back, and it's a damn shame. It really is, because he's such a dynamo. And I love the kid. Man, if you can get something for him, they need to make that decision. It's going to be a tough one for Brad Holmes. So come at me, guys. Destroy me. Do what you got to do. It don't matter. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. But that's it, guys. Thanks for the video, man. Thanks for paying attention. I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Get all my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this out. What do you guys think about D Swift, man? Love the kid as a running back. Best ability is availability. Something he doesn't have. And I'm just hoping for the best for him, man. Hopefully he can somehow turn it around, but it doesn't look that good right now. But thanks a lot, guys. One Pride, go Lions. Boom.